fix myself here, guys. Just don't watch this part. I think I'm gonna hold this, actually. That's a good idea. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Good. So I have some numbers for you that may shock you. 46.5%. That's the number of women represented in today's labor force. That's huge. We also have 56.5%. 56.5% of women have children under the age of 1, and they're in the labor force as well. I'll give you the other side of the number. 16.1%. That is a staggering low number of women represented as on the board position for Fortune 500 companies. 14.1% of women have held an executive office in Fortune 500 companies. Too low. And even in the nonprofit world, where you would think that women would be shining and would be at the top of leadership, the number is only 20%. It is only 20%. So why? Why is it? Why is it that the numbers are so staggeringly low? Why is it? What are some of the barriers that hold women back from reaching the leadership goals that they are able to do, for being the leaders they were born to be? In the last few years, on my path to leadership, it's been an interesting journey. I've seen many of the barriers, and I've been able to overcome many even more. And for me, this is even much more powerful because as a young Hispanic woman, that glass ceiling can sometimes feel twice as thick. And so today, I want to talk to you about the 3 top barriers that have held some women and making those statistics so slow. But I also want to share with you solutions, ways that we can break through this unseen glass ceiling so that we can all make a difference and an impact on this world, which is very much needed. So let's start with the first barrier. And this one is interesting. Some of the women that we've heard from today in the presentation touched a little bit on it. And that's what I call the lack of mentorship. And why does that even happen? With the statistics being so low, men look at other men, and when opportunities arise as far as being a leader or opportunities are available, it's almost like a reflex where they look at their buddies and say, hey buddy, you want to be part of my leadership team? There's much more to pick from the men. On the other token, women also, finding a mentor is like finding a needle in a haystack. There's just not that many available. Lack of mentorship also has to do with the fact that women have very unique and interesting personalities. One part of that, yes, and I'm a woman, so I know. One part of that is our attitude of, I can do this by myself, I don't need anyone's help. You know, there's this whole thing about reinventing the wheel, and people keep hearing and saying that and saying that. But bottom line is that women think that they can just do this by themselves. I don't need anyone's help. My ideas are the best, and this is the way it's going to go. That's why only 16.1% of us are in leadership positions. Men don't do that. Men go to their buddies and they ask how to do it, and then they do it. You can avoid so many mistakes because you're going to make a lot. Don't let that hold you back. Find somebody to help you mentor. Find somebody that inspires you. Then there's the other side of the personality. And that's what our friend up here in the presentation said, and I call it being a little catty sometimes. And here's what I think of it. When you do get to the top, you're going to need a team. You are going to need people to help you. Because leadership is not about yourself, ladies. Leadership is about those that you serve. And how are you going to do that with a catty attitude? How are you going to bring those other talented women to be part of being at the top? That's one of the things that I've learned the most. I've met some beautiful, amazing women on my path to leadership, and I recognize their talents. The reason that I do that is because somebody recognized their talent in me. I have been so blessed to meet women that believe in me when I never believed in myself. They thought that I could do this. They said I could even speak up here in front of all of you. So I said, all right, let's do this then. And, you know, my mother, she's the strongest woman that I know. She's the most confident woman that I know. And she would push me to the limits, and the expectations were so high, but I thank her every day for that, and I'm today. So let's put those 3 things aside. Cattiness, help each other out. We want to change the statistics. We underestimate our abilities so often. And part of it does have to do with the fact that we are going into unknown territories, you know. A lot of women, we haven't had a woman president. How do you think that woman's going to feel when somebody is, if she's running? This is so unknown. There's nothing to compare to. And because that causes a little bit of intimidation, you know, playing with the boys, coming to sit at the table with the boys can be intimidating. And intimidation causes fear, and fear blocks you. Fear prevents you from moving forward. And so the lack of confidence is something that Sheryl Sandberg, the CEO of Facebook, I was listening to one of her talks, and she says that there's actually data that correlates success and likability as a positive aspect for men, but negative for women. And what does that even mean? That's shocking. It's instilled in us that whole, I don't know if I'm good enough. How do we even change that? One way that you can change that is by believing in yourself. And I wish it was as easy as me telling you today, just the way I tell myself every morning, believe in yourself, Veronica, you can do this. This is a stepping outside your comfort zone. But see, confidence is like a muscle. It just gets stronger and stronger and stronger as you practice it and use it. Again, you will make mistakes, but you've got to be wise, and you've got to understand that every mistake that you do make, you can transcend it into a blessing in disguise. How? Because it'll teach you a lesson. Learn the lesson, don't do it again, and keep moving forward. That's what's going to build your confidence. If you continuously step outside your comfort zone, and you continuously do things that you've never done before, the confidence will get better and better and better. We're only here in this world once. That's who we are here today. Leave a legacy. Be confident. Now don't get it all twisted. There's a thin line between confidence and ego. There's a very thin line there. You know, as I was growing up, I was we moved from Mexico. I was born in Mexico, and actually, ever since I was in kindergarten, first grade, I wanted to be the president of everything. You know, anything that was available, I just wanted to be involved. I thought I could do it. And my mom would always tell me, you know, Veronica, keep your feet grounded. Don't be a show-off. She would tell me that. Along the lines, though, I kind of twisted that in my mind. I think sometimes I would have thought, maybe I shouldn't say this, maybe I shouldn't run for that. You know, maybe I'm just being too loud, and you know, I don't want people to think I'm being a show-off. Today, I can tell you, I don't care. I don't. You know why I don't care? Because I'm building a legacy. I am not sitting around complaining about what I don't like. I'm making a difference by taking action. That's why. So it may be shocking to a lot of you that I'm telling you this today, but don't be humble. Don't do it. Men are not humble. They do something very right and they take all the credit. You know? Sorry to all my men out there. But don't be humble. Don't live in a world of mediocrity. Let all of your talents shine. Say what you got. It's important. Somebody needs to hear it. You can change someone's life, sometimes with a smile. But don't be humble. Be confident. Don't be a show-off. Barrier number 3, probably the toughest one, and the one that I always deal with. And it's directly correlated with this ugly word called guilt. And that's the golden question of career or family. Could I possibly even do both? How could that even be the case? And as I was growing up, like I told you, now that I look back, I see what an important person my mom was in my life. And what a strong and just amazing woman. You know, coming from Mexico, not knowing the language, everything being completely new. She brought us over here with my dad. My dad was a huge part of the family, but obviously he was the working guy. My mom not only was the working girl, but she also had to raise all of us and make sure that our house was clean every single day, that we had food on the table, home-cooked meals, by the way, and that our clothes were spotless. My mom is just somebody, the strongest person that I know. And I look at her and I look at my childhood and I thought, I had a great childhood. It was built around the foundation of family, of love, high expectations. Yeah, she worried about me a lot. Yeah, she made sure I wasn't out late at night. She worked hard. She would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to make us all home-cooked meals. And as I was little, I had to go to the babysitter by 5:30 a.m. because she had to be in the fields picking strawberries. She'll come home at 6 o'clock at night, get the house clean, get the kids ready, make sure the homework was done, and do it all again the next day. And sometimes even on the weekends. And I look back and I'm like, wow, I should do it, Mom. That's why I don't have any excuses to not do what I want to do in my life. What's ironic is that now she gives me the talk. She's a retired grandma. She's a stay-at-home grandma. She's young and beautiful, by the way. She looks like my sister. And you know what she tells me now? She says, Veronica, don't let time pass you. Your kids grow up way too fast. And it makes me teary-eyed because isn't it ironic that I see her as the best mom I had, the best childhood, and she's worried about the same things I worry today. But you know what? It's a great reminder to always keep balance and to always remember who's the one you go home to every night. Our careers are absolutely important. The things that I'm doing in leadership fill my heart with passion. They make me a better person. But what I know now is that my legacy is much more important than worrying about whether my kids are going to be okay or not. Because my kids are seeing what their mother is doing. And that is enough. And so, one of the other things that I've also been doing, and I highly recommend that you all pick up the book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, because guess what, women? We can do it all by myself, but ourselves, or we can do it all, but we worry about way too many things that don't matter. We're at the office, and we're worried about our kids, and when we're with our kids, we're worried about the office. So when are you not going to worry? When are you going to relax? When are you going to really live in that moment? There is so much wisdom in the now. Even you sitting here today, are you listening? Are you going to be really here, listening to all these amazing women that are going to be up here? Are you going to take this moment and do something with it? Or are you going to be worried about what you're going to make for dinner tonight? You can do both, but when you get home for dinner, make it and be fabulous at it. Live in the now. It'll help you. Another thing that helps me tremendously, and especially in the last year, is just the power of prayer and meditation. I cannot tell you, driving over here as I was thinking, all these successful women, I'm going to be talking from all these successful women, oh Lord help me. And, you know, as I was driving, thank God my husband was driving me here, because I was able to meditate again and just find myself, take a deep breath. Everything's going to be okay. I'm just going to talk to a lot of beautiful women that probably go through the same things that I go through. And that together we can really do something different. So live in the now, use prayer, power meditation, use it in your life. And know that you can have a successful family life and a successful work life. You can and you will. That legacy is much more important than anything. In the last few years, I've had to travel a lot as well because of leadership conferences and training and things that I've had to do, which were so empowering. And one of the hardest things is saying the goodbyes to the kids. Especially my 14-year-old, he's cool now. So he doesn't like cry. He's like, all right, Mom, we'll see you later. And then I text him or call him when I'm gone, and it takes him like 3 hours longer to respond to me. That's how he deals with me. My 8-year-old, he literally clings to my leg. And he says, Mom, no, don't go. Why can't I go with you then? And why can't I do this? That's the hardest thing in the world. It is hard, but guess what? It gets easier. Because when you come home, you can tell them all the great things you did accomplish. And they love hearing those stories. Plus, I usually buy this to me at the airport. Driving is good. So, we can do it, women. We can do it. We can leverage ourselves and our strength and our power. We can eliminate the 3 biggest barriers that I've seen. We seek out a mentor. Find somebody that you can help. Or be a mentor. Be a mentor. We can also raise our confidence level by believing in ourselves. By truly, truly believing in ourselves. And leaving the word humble out the door and coming to the show. We can have a balanced life, a career, family. We can do it. You can do it. I can do it. Everything is possible. So each and every one of you here is here for a huge and important reason, like I mentioned. I don't want you all to leave today just inspired. I want you all to walk out of this door empowered. I want you all to get out there and make it happen for yourself. And I want to leave you with this. Her name is Mickey Hilton, and she's the editor at large at Essence magazine. She said something that, And she said, women live life as if it's dress rehearsal all the time. Ladies, guess what? It's showtime.